Like and subscribe to PalsFundamentals on YouTube for more videos like this. Sources linked below. Hello and welcome. Today we're doing a bit of a Faroese news report, looking at some recent updates based on news clips and even a weather forecast we've got here.
Exactly. We'll just walk through what the sources are telling us, pulling out the main points on, well, quite a few different topics happening over there right now.
Okay, let's get into it then. The material covers policy, environment, some community stuff, research. What jumps out at you first?
Well, it's interesting how you see both, top-down government plans and also these bottom-up concerns coming through in the sources. Gives you a real snapshot.
Right. Let's start with policy then. There's something about retirement age.
Yeah, the Ministry of Finance, they're looking at abolishing the retirement age for nationally contracted staff. It's currently 72.
And why the change?
The sources say it's because people aren't happy with the limit and they want to sort of improve things for older workers, make it more flexible.
Have there been changes before?
Oh, yes. He went from 67 to 70 back in 2007. Then in 2013, they allowed extensions past 70. And it only went up to 72 in 2022, again with possible extensions.
So employers are probably used to having older staff already?
Seems so. The sources mentioned they already work out things like reduced hours, so it's not expected to cause huge administrative issues.
And this is still a proposal?
Yes, it's out for consultation. Deadline's June 27th, 2025.
Okay. Moving on, another policy point seems to be about foreign labor.
Right. There was a question in Parliament, and the government's response suggests employers might need to ask for criminal records from foreign workers applying for permits.
Why employers, specifically?
The idea mentioned is that if the immigration office did it, verifying records from other countries would just take too long. Apparently, the Danish ministry doesn't see this as an issue with the current Faroese law.
And what about families coming with workers? Any updates there?
Well, income requirements for families were set last September, and they're working on other things like waiting periods, maybe language skills, work permits for spouses for a completely new Aliens Act.
Some more changes are coming.
Looks like it. They plan to draft a law after the summer break specifically about employers checking records, insurance, language skills, and the whole new Comprehensive Aliens Act is expected next summer.
Let's shift gears. Environment and research there was a project launch.
Yes, MeCCAM. It kicked off in Tórshavn. It stands for Measures for Climate Change Adaptation and Mitigation in European Fisheries.
Sounds significant.
It's a Horizon project led by Shetland. Havstafn and Varen are the Faroese partners involved, and they had people from, I think, 9 European countries there, over 40 attendees.
Focusing on what kind of fisheries?
North Atlantic pelagic fisheries, that's a key area mentioned. The fisheries minister was there too, apparently stressing how vital the sea is and the need to, cut emissions and be more sustainable.
And Tórshavn also hosted another meeting. ERVO.
That's right, the European Research Vessel Operators Annual Meeting. First time in the Faroes. Havstafn helped organize it.
What's ERVO about?
It's basically a network for countries with research ships. They share experiences, best practices. It's grown quite a bit. About 70 or 80 foreign attendees came.
And the mayor of Tórshavn commented on this.
Yeah, Elsa Burke. The sources quote her talking about the harbor, welcoming these vessels, connecting the Faroes to global science. And she mentioned their own research vessel, Jakob Sverre.
She mentioned sustainability too, right?
Yes, she highlighted the municipality's focus on cleaner energy, transport, supporting science, and joining this Environmental Port Index, the EPI, to monitor how green the visiting ships are. She spoke about the Faroes' relationship with the sea changing, from just users to, stewards, needing knowledge, cooperation.
Okay, now turning to some community issues reflected in the sources, there was a letter about wind farms, comparing Sandoy to Shetland.
Yes, a reader's letter. It flagged concerns based on Shetland's experience, which apparently has over 100 large turbines. The letter mentioned worries about visual impact, noise, flicker, harm to nature, birds.
And ownership concerns.
Right. The letter claimed Shetland's turbines are owned by Scottish capital, power goes to Scotland, and the local community sees little benefit. The writer feared the same for Sandoy's planned Klivalukshagab project, damage to nature, water, tourism, house prices, that kind of thing.
Another letter touched on austerity affecting disabled people.
Correct. It focused on a law change from January 1st, 2024. It seems support shifted from helping buy disability cars to just helping buy special equipment for cars.
And the impact.
The writer argued it hurts disabled people who can drive and rely on early retirement pensions. They even quoted a former social minister's past critique, man-scamist, meaning one is ashamed, applying it to this situation.
There's also a quick demographic statistic mentioned.
54% of children born in 2024 were born outside marriage. The sources add context. Over the last 10 years, it's been between 48% and 60%, according to the Family Administration.
And one more item, a research achievement.
Yes, Anne Elizabeth Holm. She's been nominated for the BAAL Book Prize. BAAL is the British Association for Applied Linguistics.
Laboratoire.
It's called Migration, Adult Language Learning, and Multilingualism. Critical sociolinguistics research with new speakers of Faroese. Based on her PhD, her book is one of 4 nominees. She also recently got a big grant for a project on language, inclusion, and the labor market.
Okay, and finally, as requested, let's get the weather forecast. This covers Wednesday, June 4th through Monday, June 9th, 2025.
Right, so starting midweek, there's low pressure nearby, moving north. Expect a westerly airflow bringing showers. Winds generally moderate, maybe fresh at times. Temperatures around 6 to 9 degrees Celsius Wednesday, maybe up to 11 Thursday and Friday.
What about the weekend?
Looks like a bit of a calmer period. A saddle between weather systems. So lighter winds, clearer skies, not much rain expected Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures still in the 6 to 11 or 12 degree range.
And then Monday.
A change again. A new low pressure system approaches from the west. Rain developing later in the day and the wind picking up, especially towards the evening. Temps could reach up to 13 degrees, but still down to 6.
Got it. So quite a mix of developments.
Yeah, these sources really paint a picture, don't they? Policy adjustments, international research collaborations, local concerns being voiced. It's all happening.
Absolutely. It makes you think about how all these different threads, labor rules, climate action, social support, community impact are interconnected and shaping things in the Faroes right now. Something to consider. Like and subscribe to PalsFundamentals on YouTube for more videos like this. Sources linked below.